and welcome to another exciting episode of Can It Take a K26? The show where we take a variety of blasters and see if they can be upgraded using a K26 spring. I am your host, Captain Xavier, and today we're going to be looking at some pistols that I picked up at Goodwill recently, some neat ones. Our first contestant is the Lock and Load. The Lock and Load was originally released in 1998 as part of the Hypersight line. It is a old school mega blaster. You pull back on the slide and the sight would pop up, and then when you fired it, the slide would return, which is obviously terribly inefficient. You're losing all sorts of energy in that slide return because it's got that extra mass to move. But it made the sight pop up, and it's very spacey looking, swept lines and large handle, comfortable. So we're going to see if this thing can take a K26. Well, very straightforward internals. I have, I believe, managed to not lose any of the springs. Let's see if there's any chance at all. Oh, there is. Alright, I think all of those are going to be too short. We're going to need a new coil. All of the K26 I use nowadays were provided to me by Out of Darts. He sent me a huge pile, and it looks like I'm going to run out of blasters before I run out of spring at this rate. Alright. Well, the nice thing is, the spring can just come right off the back. And the new spring can just go right on there. Well, K26 fit. Whether we will get enough compression and whether or not this whole mechanism will be able to support it is yet to be seen. It's not catching. Nope! I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to be able to catch, and I think this... I don't understand what this mechanism in the back is even for. Why it pops loose the way it does. But it has essentially become slam fire only, which is definitely not good for a blaster like this. It's just going to break and something. So, unfortunately, that is a no for the Lock and Load. On to the next contestant. Our next contestant is this Stats Blast thing. It is a top prime pistol. It has a little barrel extension. It may have had a stock. I have no idea. It was from Toys R Us. And interestingly, it appears to have a safety. It won't fire if you don't have a dart in it. And I imagine the safety is a combination of the AR and this little tab, though it's not just this tab. It's more than just the tab. Oh, I wonder if that's it. Anyway, I want to see how that works. What I really am hopeful about this is that it can at least take some kind of a spring upgrade, because I actually find that safety to be a really nice feature, because it won't fire, it won't dry fire for one, which is nice, because you never want to dry fire your blasters. But it means that you could put a dart in it, prime it, and then just pull the trigger until it shoots, rather than having to index it so that it's lined up. It's intelligent enough to know when it reaches the cylinder that's loaded, which is really, really cool. So I am hoping this can take some kind of a spring upgrade. So let's get this thing open and see if it can take a K26. And if not, we're going to see what it can take. Sure enough, it turns out that the AR acts as the safety, which is absolutely fascinating. And it has... Oh, good. That is not an insubstantial spring. Do we have one long enough? I don't think so. Okay, well, we'll cut a new one. K26 will fit, which honestly I wasn't expecting, so that's a step in the right direction right there. Here we go. Oh, it caught. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it can. I really like it. One of the things I like about it, it is a 8-round cylinder, despite being only about the width of a strong arm. So this extra thing down here, I'm not a huge fan of. I will probably cut that off and clean it up just so that it will more easily holster. I do like the extra barrel. It's a very wide barrel, so it's not going to cause much in the way of barrel drag. However, that whole safety mechanism has proved finicky. And as a result is causing more issues than it is worth. And so I'm probably going to go ahead and take that out. It's because it isn't always firing when it gets there. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Kind of seems to be the way you're holding it. I don't know. Maybe a spring is in there wrong or a spring is loose. But I think it would be easier to just get rid of it. As much as I like it, I think it is troublesome. Now, I find it interesting, the way they did the shell, it's almost like it's almost intended for rear loading. And it wouldn't be too hard to modify it so that you could. It's not quite, that groove is not quite lining up with the back of the cylinder, unfortunately. But they do have 2 spots on the front where the cylinder lines up and you can load. And that's where I liked that whole... safety mechanism, because if you put it in there, the next trigger pull doesn't line up with the cylinder. So I find that interesting. Anyway, I like it. It's a success. Let's recap. All right, for those of you keeping score at home or who just skipped to the end to see the results, that was a no for the lock and load, but a yes for this Stats Blast thing. If you have any requests, suggestions, ideas for future ones, I'm starting to run a little low on blasters. Obviously, the new stuff that's coming out this fall, when I get my hands on it, I will look into that. And I still need to get the Walking Dead line. Should have picked them up when they were going on clearance at Toys R Us, but I forgot to. So I will have to hunt some of those down, and I may just go troll the toy aisles and see if there are any fairly new off-brand ones I haven't looked at. But if there are ones that you would like me to look into, go ahead and put those suggestions down in the description, or down in the comments. And as always, thank you guys for watching.